My husband said he was working late. His boss called the house and asked why he didn't come in today. I stood in our kitchen holding the landline like it had just bitten me. I'm sorry, what did you say? The voice on the other end repeated himself. This is Gerald from Weston Financial. I'm looking for your husband. He hasn't shown up for 3 days and isn't answering his cell. Is everything okay? 3 days. My husband had kissed me goodbye every single one of those mornings. He'd worn his work shirts. He'd complained about traffic. He'd come home tired and eaten dinner and fallen asleep on the couch like always. He's been sick, I heard myself say. I'll have him call you. I hung up before Gerald could respond. My hands were shaking so badly I had to set down my coffee. 3 days of lies. Where had he been going every morning at 7 a.m. dressed for work? Where did he spend 9 hours before coming home smelling like his normal cologne and complaining about his normal coworkers? I texted him something casual. Hey, how's work going? His response came in 2 minutes. Brutal. Back-to-back meetings. Might be late again tonight. I stared at that text for a long time. My husband of 11 years was lying to my face through a screen. I called my sister and told her everything. She drove over immediately and we sat at my kitchen table strategizing like we were planning a military operation. The next morning I pretended everything was normal. I kissed him goodbye. I told him I loved him. I watched him drive away in his work clothes with his work bag. Then I got in my car and followed him. He didn't go toward downtown where his office was. He drove 20 minutes in the opposite direction to a neighborhood I'd never seen before. He pulled into the driveway of a small blue house with a garden out front. I parked down the street and watched him walk inside using his own key. My whole body went numb. He had a key. He walked in like he lived there. 20 minutes later, a woman came outside to water the garden. She was younger than me, prettier. She was wearing a robe and slippers like she'd just woken up. My husband appeared behind her and wrapped his arms around her waist. He kissed her neck. She laughed and turned around to kiss him properly. I took photos of everything. The next 3 days, I followed him to that house every single morning. I documented arrival times and departure times. I watched him mow her lawn on day 2. I watched him carry groceries inside on day 3. I watched him live an entire second life while I sat at home believing his lies about meetings and deadlines. On day 4, I hired a lawyer. I showed her the photos and the documentation and Gerald's voicemail that I'd saved. She explained my options very clearly. On day 5, I waited until my husband left for his work. Then I drove to the blue house myself. I knocked on the door and the woman answered. She looked confused when she saw me. Can I help you? I'm looking for my husband, I said calmly. He's been coming here every morning instead of going to work. Her face went pale. Your husband? We've been married 11 years. I have photos of him kissing you in this doorway 3 days ago. I have documentation of him being here every day this week. I have his boss confirming he hasn't shown up to work. She started shaking. He told me he was divorced. He told me his ex-wife was crazy and wouldn't sign the papers. He said he was staying with his brother until things got finalized. There is no ex-wife, I said. There's just me, his current wife.